Here we go. Good morning to those on the East Coast. I hope you are doing well this morning or whatever time it is where you are. If someone could just give me an A-OK that you can hear me and see me and everything is working, then that would be great. I will now minimize Yep, you can hear me. Great. So now I'm going to, I forgot to open up Trello. I'm going to open up Trello real quick. I had everything else open, or lots of things open. If you were around yesterday watching, we began an Invoice app. Oh, and if you just happen to be brand new, my name is Melissa Wanish, and I'm the founder of RubyThursday.com. It's a tutorial site for junior Rails developers. And this is my day 2 on Twitch, and day 7 of live coding ever. So we did a 5-day challenge in July, and this is a little 2-day challenge here to create an Invoice app, because I'm really in the need of having a way to collect money for monthly retainers from my clients, and QuickBooks isn't really the best place to do that. And so there are other products I could use, but hey, I'm a developer and I have an audience that I want to share with. So I said, let's go ahead and live code this and build it. Built this little project and get it going. So we have a Trello board that we went over yesterday, and the previous video should be there on Twitch, so you can see that. And we're still working on the part where we have subscriptions. So we're creating a subscription for a connected account via Stripe. So building this to hopefully be available to other folks if they want to use it as well. And I believe we've settled on the URL that we actually already have and are going to reuse. But I'm not going to share that quite yet. I'm going to, I'm going to make sure before we make it live that that's what we're doing. So, so let me go ahead and share my screen. Hopefully now people have time to come back to their computers and find me. I need to open up and screen sharing. Here we go. All right, so here's our Trello board, and here's what we were working on. The making of the new invoice and the subscription. So at the end of yesterday, the test passed, and I was a little like, I'm not sure it's really doing what I think it's doing, and I was correct. It made a subscription on the platform account and not on any kind of connected account, because I had just put in some random numbers thinking I would probably get back an error of some sort. But no, I guess if the connected account doesn't exist, then Stripe will just make that subscription on the platform's account. So I saw in my test data that it was created and the deletion happened correctly, but it wasn't making it on any external connected account, and that's because we haven't really set that up even for testing. So that's the first thing we're going to do today. Is I'm going to run the server and we're going to manually test our Stripe Connect to make sure those pieces are working. And then we're going to change a little bit. I wrote a little note. Just change the plan name a little bit. Like I said, our example that we were going with here, our walkthrough. He had, the plan ID, and I've looked up how to set the ID of the, we're calling it an invoice, how to find that ahead of time, because he makes it and then he creates the plan. And I would prefer that the plan be created first to make sure that there's no errors with Stripe, because otherwise, let's not create the invoice to begin with if there's some issue. Because the main point of it is to make that subscription plan, or at least this invoice. The main thing is to create that with Stripe. So we may start to add in some other validations. That's definitely maybe not today, but that's something you would need to do as well. So we're going to work on that, and make sure it's really making that plan on a connected account, not on the platform account. So that is what we are doing. So let's go ahead and, oh, I had that open to find that. So I have it open. And let's go ahead and run our server. So the first time I'm running this app to see what happens. And I'm already logged into Stripe in an account where I can do a test and not the platform, because again, that's important, not connecting yourself. You want to connect to a test. And you can have multiple sort of accounts within the same Stripe account, different profiles. And that's actually what I've done. All right, so Russell's teapot. That's fun. All right, just saw that. Okay, so let's go ahead and visit. I'm going to bring that out so we can just focus on it. Sorry, duh. I Google Rails something so many times a day that I forget. All right, and this is no design going on here, nothing. So sign up. Let's go ahead and sign up. And I got lots of different. Let's do test Stripe at Gmail. Remembers one for me. Okay, try it now. Welcome, you have signed up successfully, and we went to Connect Stripe, just like we put together yesterday. All right, it's going to okay, so this is going to go ahead and test Stripe. All right, let's connect that one. That's not the one I have two separate accounts as well. That's okay. Let's see, it's remembering this. Sign in. Let's match the current. Oh, because I'm currently logged in. All right. Let's go ahead and delete all of that. And let's do instead. Oh, it's not remembering me? That's a little sad. Oh, passwords. All right, I'm going to come back to me as I go and find that password. It's in my preferences here. And I'm looking for my Stripe password here that I can... Okay, close. All right, let's go right back to here. All right. No, I don't want that one. I'm not sure I want it to remember me right now. Let's don't save that for now. Okay, there we go. Yes, so I would like to be in this test Stripe account because I'm logged in as rubythursday.com and I have two accounts, right? Ruby Thursday and then test Stripe. So I want to do the test Stripe because I've used the Ruby Thursday one as the platform. So I'm this account, all right, blah, blah, blah. I've put in some dummy data. But what you can do is skip this account form, okay, because we're in a development mode. All right. But it should, let's see what happens when it skips this account form, and we'll get back something, although it's not going to really connect like we need it to. Let's make sure this works first, and then we can always come back and do it again. All right, so let's skip this account form. Ah, it's unhappy. Oh, members, uh-oh. Because we don't have members, we have vendors. So that is on our Stripe dashboard. So let's go and see. Let's double check. Let's double check we have it in our app. I think I said it in the app correctly. Let's see. I will, again, with these configurations, these environmental variables, I need to hide them. This is a real live project. Let's see. So I have it correctly set in my Stripe redirect. Let's see. Initializers device. I even have it set there as well. So it must be because it's incorrectly set on Stripe itself. And I will get to that page and then share the screen again. Let's go back to switching the account. So, as you see, there's a couple different places you need to make sure this is all making the connections. So, let's go to API. Oh, I'm using an old API. Well, we'll see about that. All right, so, oh no, connect. Connect is what I need. Settings. Okay, so let me share my screen again. So here we are on the Stripe page here. And so this is where you would put in your redirects URIs. So if we have over here, so it says the endpoint on your development server that will redirect your users back to after they connect with Stripe can be localhost. If you provide a comma separated list, will allow redirects to any of them via the redirect URI parameter and default to the first one. So it needs to be in both places. We're saying to Stripe where to go, but it has to be here in order for them to allow it. So we will copy this whole thing again. And instead of members, we'll go with vendors. Right? Because that's the model that we set up yesterday to more accurately describe who is using this site. So great. And then, you'd want the same kind of things for whatever the actual, there's probably a couple of things in there. And then I may add here a staging site. You could also put a staging site in here. All right, so there's no save, which is a little disconcerting to me. But I guess it saved once you put it in. So I have a bunch of, because I'm viewing test data here, and I have another project, I test with this, and so you can see that there's some test guys going on, and we go to settings, and I just want to, yeah, it's there. It must just save automatically. I wish it would have some kind of, that's just a note for Stripe. Okay, moving on, let's try again. So let's go back to here and go back. It doesn't give us the, it's in development mode. Maybe it'll give us that link again to skip it. There we go. Skip this account form, and let's make sure that the connection's okay. No, why is it still going there? Let's see. Yes, I know. Where is it getting this? Let's see if we can see in here. So it did start, let's see, get off Stripe Connect. This is where it's coming back to. Connect to Stripe, right? We went away, and now it's coming back. It went to here. And then it started getting members. Started get, and then started getting members. All right, I'm just gonna check to see if you guys saw if I missed something. It's totally fine if you didn't, but if someone's like, try restarting the server, that's a good, yeah, let's try that. All right. So let's go back to I also may just, let's just triple check. We'll restart the server, and then I'll also triple check I don't have this somewhere. Well, it's in the development log, yes. Because it's wanting to go there. Just, as you copy paste from places. It's searching. I'll go ahead to server to it's still searching. Put it right there. Oh, also, just to let you guys know, I did have to fix up, let me mention it before I forget. I fixed up the onboarding because I changed this attribute name. And so I fixed this up. When I ran just RSpec all of it, this came up back as an error. So if you're coding along, be sure that this matches the attribute that you have. It's still searching, but let's just try it again here. I feel like looking at my routes just to be sure. OmniAuth callbacks. But as for vendors, OmniAuth callbacks would be this controller here. Okay. Oh, it's done. 4 matches in 1 file. It's done. Okay. All right, let's go ahead to back to here again. Why are they going to members? Again, that might be the something with the stripe settings here. All right. Nope, coming back to members. All right. Let's look again at did I close it? No, it's right here. All right. Let's put it first. Let's see what happens. Now this may break my other one, but okay, and hopefully it saves when you click off of it. So let's try it again. Skipping this account form. Client ID. Wait. Doesn't seem to have skipped. Okay, skip. It came right back here. Okay. All right, let's look again. Did I hit a space? What's going on? Okay, for the moment, this might break other things, but for the moment, let's just have it vendors. And let's go all the way back to the page where we, okay, it's gonna go back a couple things. Let's go back to our app. Okay, let's go all the way back here. Let's try this again. Connect to Stripe. And you see that has our Connect account happening here. You know what? It just said, it says local. You'll be taken back to Invoice app, local host right away. Okay. All right, let's try this again. Skip this account form. It came back here. I don't think anything's happening on the server because it's somewhere else. Oh, okay. Tested. Request phase initiated. So it's doing something, but it's kind of stuck here. All right. One more time. Let's exit that. let's go back to here. Okay. Refresh this. Just okay. Got rid of our little message, but connect to Stripe. Skip this account form. It's getting hung up. It's coming right back here. Interesting. All right, let's look again. Localhost 3000, vendors auth, Stripe Connect. That is what I have in my device. Vendors auth, Stripe Connect. Okay, let's see if you guys had anything. All right. How interesting. Usually this works. To the first one. Let's look again at some of the documentation here. Standard connect. If we're missing something, have the client ID. Granted. We already doing all that. No. Let's go to testing. Right. So should not connect to the platform to itself. That's not what we're doing. Using another email address and then take that new account through the this works for both standard and express accounts. Okay, so maybe it's because I'm using the same email address. It's giving me issues. I was trying to use a different account within the same email address, but maybe that's the issue. It's just too hard to debug that part. Okay, so let's go here and switch user. Oh, and then I think we need to log out of here. So we're not logged in anywhere on my computer. There we go. All right, now let's come back to here, and it's remembered, so let's not remember me quite yet here. Wrong email or password. I think I have a different email. All right, so I'm going to come back to just me and look that up real quick. I think that's, I think I created yet another Stripe account. I think I called that something different. So let me, oh, no, wrong one. Security. I'm looking at my saved logins. That's what I'm doing. So I'm showing my passwords. Okay. I'll try this other password. Maybe it's got sort of two different passwords going on. All right. Okay. Okay. All right, so come back here. Coming back to sharing. All right, now when that happened, I lost this switch thing. So I'm just gonna go ahead and connect my Stripe account. Let's see what happens. Let's not save that. Oh, it just came right back here again. That's so weird. Okay. Let's start looking some stuff up. Let's see. I sort of started, but it is... Let's see if we can get some help. All right. Got the call back. Well, I don't have a routing error. February, somebody had a problem with it. OAuth 2. Well, should all just come in with the Stripe. Connect. Okay, I'm looking to get requests. It's not, it's just getting hung up. It's just not doing, it's not going there. No. All right, let's try. So it's going there, right? It's going and it's not coming back. That's what's happening. Let me see. No, it's just not there. All right, so we've shut down the server again. Let's put it back up. right. Now let's go back to our Invoice app. Okay, make sure we'll just refresh this page. Okay. Connect to Stripe. So I'm logged in as this test account. Connect my Stripe account. And it just comes back here. And we have the same deal going on. Saying get vendors off state. All right, so let's see what's actually happening. So Stripe on the off, not redirecting. Redirect URL not working. I'm not even getting an error. Let's see what he says though. Well, this is 2013. It's probably too old. Let's go back. Download. Right, this is, you know, from a tutorial that everyone uses. All that. All right. Okay. He's just sort of taking that out separate. It's not really what's going on. I guess we could rake our routes. Let's see. Again, it's vendors off Stripe Connect. So what? On the off callbacks post. Right. It's vendors off Stripe Connect. Callback. Maybe I'm missing the callback. Oh. Maybe if I go to my example app. I'm just in case I'm gonna transition to me in case there's something. In this application YML. Callback. I'm missing the word callback in my route because that's the endpoint that the gem is providing. I'm missing callback. Okay, that's what's going on everywhere. Okay, so let's go. I have to log into Stripe again as the platform. That was what was doing it. Okay. All right. I don't know what I'm logged in as. Sorry, it's a little slow. Streaming makes the browser just a little bit slower. There it's going. Okay, so I'm logged in as Ruby Thursday. So now I go to my Connect. I've used test data. All right, so settings. I must not have copied the whole thing. All right. Which is odd here, guys. I'm just going to show you what's going on here. This is what makes me a little leery of this no saving thing. So I don't actually have the vendors part here, okay? But I'm logged in as Ruby Thursday. All right, so let's copy all of that again. Ruby. And now let's call back, so let's change it to vendors. Okay. And hopefully that's saved. I'm going to go overview. Nothing is connected yet. Okay, and then back to settings. I just want to triple check that it's like saved. So I feel like it's okay. It's showing saved. Okay. Now I'm going to come back to me so that I change that in my application YML. For the Invoice app, add my callback. Copy, paste, fail. Okay. Call back. All right. And okay, let's come back here. Although I have it in my application YML, I'm also like actually not using it at the moment because here it is. So when I push to production, then I'll change this to use the environmental variable. Let's close that just to be sure. So this should now work. So do I have this? Okay, let's run our server again. Okay, that's why it wasn't going anywhere. Now let's go ahead and log out. Oh, this is called Ruby Thursday too. Oh, so I'm on the wrong account here. I must have, that's why it looked weird. Okay. So I have to sign out and then that's silly. So I'm going to yet again come back to just me. Oh, it's Friday. Does anybody else feel it's Friday? All right, so Oh, and then it's like, girl, you have been logging in and out. Now I have to re-verify. So I'll be right back because I need my phone. No, I need my phone. I got a text message. Oh, okay. So it wants to verify and be like, you are doing some crazy stuff here. All right, so 1, 0. Da-da-da. Okay. Let's go again to connect. Settings. Right. Okay. So I'm just gonna fix this up. Oops. No. Call back. I'm actually just gonna triple check. Okay. Connect callback single. Single, not plural or anything. Single. All right. And go back to, sorry, you're just watching me. Call back. All right. Yet again, I'm going to sign out of Stripe. So I'm all signed out. Or it's signing out. So let's go ahead and share the screen again. Okay. Let's, oh, okay. Okay, let's just go to localhost. Oh, it might take us sign up. I don't think I have an if statement yet about if you are logged in or not. I'm probably logged in. So I'm going to go directly. It's not remembering it right away. What did we call that? We called that the connect to Stripe. And if it's not logged in, it will take us to the login page because we did put that you had to be authorized. Okay, so here we go. We're logged in, connect to Stripe. And so if you're not logged in, right, already have a Stripe account, sign in. We're going to do the, yes, that guy. The test Stripe account, or signing in as my test account. Okay. All right. Let's see what happens. Yay! All right, I just had the link wrong. That is what it was. It's amazing how like 7 or 8 characters, but you have to have the, the connections made. All right. So here we are. We have, now let's look at our server here. So it gave us back. It updated our vendor with the provider. The Stripe UID, here's the account for it. Okay. Stripe access tokens and refresh token and publishable key. All right, so we have all those things. Now I've just been looking through the Stripe documentation again. You can make calls with this token here or this token, but mostly they prefer that you use the account. So I'm going to copy this. So this is now a connected account with the platform. So this is what I'm going to use to test the subscription. Okay, so now that we've got that working, now that our URLs are correct, I'm going to get out of the server, and we're going to use that account as our test account. Okay, so I'm going to go to my factory. All right, and I'm going to use this. Now let's put a note. Account for, and that was called, spelling my own name. Yeah. That was plus test Stripe. Okay, so just so we know where that's coming from. Okay. All right, so now that that's in place, let's go to our test. All right, so let's see how we retrieve the plan for a connected account. That's what I would want to do, because if we just Stripe plan retrieve, it's going to use the platform account. And I want to be sure that it's not doing that. Oh, wait. In my list of things, I missed change plan name. Let's do that first. It's so that we make sure that it is making, well, for test, it'll keep making the 1. But, okay, I changed my mind again. Let's go ahead and work on deleting this correctly. Because this is just going to delete from the platform. So how can we retrieve the plan name of the with a connected account? So let's go back to the documentation and see using subscriptions. Okay, so so the basic syntax for Stripe here, when you're doing anything with the connected account, is to have the call, and then outside of it, so this is the main call to use, and outside of it is a comma, and then saying you want that connected account. So and that's what's happening in our invoice. No, oh yeah, it's inside. It's kind of inside. I want to make it look more like this. So there's this hash. Ah, right there. Okay. It's there. Just wanted to make it a little more obvious. Okay, because we did copy paste from Michael Farrell's tutorial, but this is a little more obvious that something different is going on. So then stripe. So this I actually want to do. Just trying to make it look pretty. This to there. Okay, I think that's easier to read. So we see the stripe account is happening, and now that we have a real one in the test data, but still a real one, let's change our spec. Didn't actually open it. Nope, wrong one. Retrieve. Oh, I still don't know about this. Let's see. Create has that hash. What about retrieve? Create has the hash. Retrieve doesn't. Let's look at, I get linked it right here. The API. So, yeah, create. I want to go actually to plans because it's what we're working on, plans. Retrieve a plan. Plan, retrieve. I'm just going to see for... And let's go ahead and put stripe, rails. See if we can usually do that. I want to retrieve. Like, what's that? Is it a comma after? Is it a comma within? How do you retrieve? Oh, I've looked at that one. I don't think that's... Here's his part 1, part 2. Well, you know, we could just try it out. What's the syntax? Let's just try inside of the parentheses here. All right, let's give it a shot. Yay, we're running a test. Yay. Okay. I kind of feel like that's going to fail. Or not do exactly what I hope. So it passed. Okay. Let's see. Am I still logged in? Did I stay logged in? Let's see. Dashboard. Pretty sure I'm logged in as the test account. Yeah. So here you see I'm logged in as the test Stripe. So let's see what happened. I deauthorized. Oh, Vera application. That might have been, that was a different day completely. All right, so nothing's happened over here. So if we did subscriptions, plans, well, I mean, it would have been deleted, right? Again, I think that it's not making it over here. And it should be. Why don't we don't delete it? Let's see what happens. That's the part I think is also not happening. Let's comment this out. Because what we might get, and what I did yesterday, I ran this again, and I got an error. Well, this just deleted, so it's probably okay, but let's see. Let's see what happens. Let's actually put a binding pry in. I want to see what's really happening. Okay, so it's getting here, and what is response? Right, what is vendor? Oh, I'm sorry. Do we have current vendor? Sometimes we don't in a... Oh, we do. Okay. Huh. Oh! Right. Okay. See? Exactly. Sometimes you have to look at these things. So it's saying Stripe nil. Okay. Because, so it's continuing to make it on my... So the next time we try to do this, it's going to be broken. Well, no, maybe now I will fix it. So, vendors, okay, I made a separate factory, and I am not yet calling it in my spec with a V. Okay, so, we're still not deleting it. All right, let's try again. And let's do, okay, so it has that. What is the response now? Oops. Still looks exactly the same. It doesn't give you any more information that it's with a connected account. Now we might, but it did create it, which is interesting. Okay, let's exit. Still passing. All right, let's see. There's no plan over here. So if we run it again, And this may be just because it's, oh, hello. Plan already exists. Okay. Which I'm not seeing a plan over here. Right? So let's log out again. Oh, you know what I could do instead? Let's do a private window so I don't have to keep logging in and logging out. But I'm gonna log in. It goes right to the live page. So I'm gonna log in to our platform account. And this may be just testing. I mean, maybe it all works live, but I feel like it's not. I feel like I should, it should be making it on the test account. Because it's making real calls. When you log in, let's see, to the test. Oh, another verification code. It's like, really? Okay. Oh, didn't have the cursor in the right place. It's logging in. So I'm looking at test data. I'm going to go to subscriptions, plans, plans. And there it is. So, okay, so let me show you that. So it made it on my platform account, not on the test account. So I don't feel like it's working. Obviously it's making it here. Let's delete that for now. Yeah, delete the plan. And this is with a different test account, like a different thing altogether. Let's minimize that. Look again at their documentation. Connected Stripe account. Let's play around with this in the terminal. Okay. So this is troubleshooting API calls. I'll go into the terminal and play around. So let's see. API, can we go to connect? Like, see some stuff we can do. Connect account. Retrieve account details. Okay, so let's see if we can just even do this part. All right, so am I still, let's see. Let's go back to the test, just in case we continue to do this. Let's move our binding pry to here. Okay, and so let's see, let's just say equals, so we have current vendor, right? Okay, so let's call the account current vendor dot stripe UID. Okay, and then, well, let's copy to here. No. Okay, so it pulls everything that I've put into that account. Great, so that's real live information coming in. So now we're going to try to do this manually. Let's just run each line. Okay, so we'll put in some other information, like just some different stuff. So we'll create amount. Let's make it different. $20 a month. Interval month, that can stay the same. Name. Testing in Pry. Currency. ID. Again, testing in Pry. These can be the same thing, really. Oh, dang it. I put a comma. Oh, it's shutting it all down. Oh, so, okay, I'm just going to go. Okay, I may get into trouble here. Uh-oh. In fact, I've lost my terminal. My terminal is upset at me. Okay, all right. Let's do this again. I don't think I can even type in this, can I? Nope. Kind of like it out there. All right, spec. Okay, back in our session here. Let's see, I think it'll have a lot of what we're doing here. Great. Okay, then let's go to Stripe Plan, create. Amount, interval, name, currency, ID. Okay, so now we have this, and then curly bracket, Stripe account, and we set up the variable account in our session here. Okay. However, I think if we go to nope, wrong one. Here and refresh. Okay. So now I'm over in the test account refreshing. Testing in Pry. That's great. What has happened? So let's see. What did I do differently? Okay, so it can happen. I mean, we've got pieces together. So why is the test, is it running too fast? Is it, let me delete this one. Okay, so now I've created that. All right, let's exit. Zero failures. So here we are on the platform account. So it should not have created one here, but if it did, there's something going on. Okay. That's great. That's what I want. What I'm a little confused about is what has changed. So we got that working. I think did it make a difference when I started to use the correct factory? Let's see if anybody... I'm going to go to my chat here just in case. Okay, no. Let's... Of course, I have the video to prove what I did, so I can always go back and see exactly what I did. But I'm going to say that it was making the factory correct. So I think I feel more confident that it is truly making the correct plan in the correct place. All right? I feel confident. Again, I will definitely test this all on a staging site, but I feel more confident now that I looked at both places and it really did it. So, the thing is that we need it to be deleting. We need it to be deleting correctly as well. It would be nice. I'm not going to make it a must-have because I'm about to... No, that's right. And testing in private. Okay. So it deleted it as well. What we have going for the delete is working when you feed it in there. Okay. We'll keep an eye on this. Keep an eye on this. Let's go ahead and commit. I think I'm going to make 2 commits because one fixed the initializer device, fixed the Stripe Connect issue. So let's make 2 separate ones. Git add config fix redirect for OmniAuth git status. So we set up to test with real test account. Subscription was created on Melissa Wait. Was it really? Testing and prize on that page. All right, I want to do it one more time. Control C? Okay. I want to do it one more time and don't delete it. Yeah. I want to do it one more time and don't delete. Although I did see the awesome plan show up at one point on the other place. So, but I just feel like one more time. I know I'm spending all my time on this today, but all right. Let's do it one more time. This was what makes it fun to test. That you have 2 different accounts happening. You could make some jokes about chicken and eggs, I suppose. I'm just gonna... Although this reminds me to double check my controller and take out this binding pry. That's not at all fun to leave a binding pry in a controller. It's kind of one of the worst places you could leave it. All right, so here we are, test account. There should be an awesome plan. That was not deleted. Drum roll. Yay! Okay. Now I feel secure. Okay, so we're going to leave that there, actually. So what we're going to do now, let's continue to delete them. We don't want to fill up your test account with all this stuff. You can see my other test accounts. I do have like information, and that really should get deleted. Now, this next step, all right. Oh, deep breath. What we're going to do now is commit. Git commit -am. We did set up for testing with real test account. Okay. And I did go ahead and put this on GitHub. Yep. Okay, and I called it. It's a private repo, but it's called Frozen Heat. I actually right now I'm naming my repos after books by Rick Castle, the fictional character from the series Castle. So I'm up to Frozen Heat. I think there's like 6 more that I can name them after. All right, now on my list, change the plan name to be sure that we don't create duplicates. And that especially will help with testing, because otherwise they're all going to be awesome invoice and we're going to get that message, hey, it already exists. So let me fix that. I looked up how to find the next ID before you save it, right? And this is what I'm going to use here. And we're going to, and that accounts for if the things get deleted, and if you said last and you've decided to sort them in some other way, that's not going to work. If you sorted them by, title instead, it wouldn't give you sorting by ID. So we're going to use this here to set that blanking out to set a number to it, just like how Michael Farrell was doing it, but we have to do it ahead of time. So that means in our controller, so invoice name, okay, is instead going to be invoice name plus invoice maximum ID 2i, because if it's nil, then that's going to be bad, and it'll always be nil in this test that we're doing. So 2i, make it an integer, which will be 0, and then .next. So that's going to be the name of the ID. Invoice.name could still be the same here. Okay. That's not as important as the ID being different. All right, so let's save that. And then we need to make sure our test, it's not going to have this anymore. It's going to equal the same deal. Let's make sure it equals that. That's what we want. Let's put, yeah. Well, no. Plus invoice.id. We want to make sure it matches its own ID. All right. So invoice name plus invoice ID. I think we're really going to need it to be... because you're adding... it's not really a string. Nope. Okay, let's try that. I think that'll work. Because if you try to add a string and an integer, they don't add. So you have to, I think adding it like that will work. Let's see if it gives an error. So we're updating this. Okay, didn't like it. No integer into string. Exactly. So I fixed it in the test, but I didn't fix it in the controller. Next dot to s. That's fun. Okay. Probably Michael Farrell did that, and I didn't look back at it. Interesting. Got awesome invoice too. Okay, let's see what's going on. We're gonna put our binding pry back. Let's put it back here. Now we may come into an issue where we've already created that plan. We have to delete it manually again, but let's see. So add invoice. Oh, you know what? We're creating it here. Oh, and then if it's save. So it would just be the ID anyway. But maybe I need to not use create here. Because if my goal is not to create it until... because invoice.count is 1. So do I need to use build again? Okay. Yeah, the plan already exists. Yeah. All right, so let's, instead of create, right, let's build it again. Because we want to make sure, we're actually going to add some things. Okay, is it valid? That kind of thing. That's right. It's nil. Okay. So it'll get to that next part, but the plan's already been created. So it worked that time. Great. I think I'm pretty happy with that. We can see, go and look again. No, this is the Ruby Thursday one. I need it on this one. Did it log me out? There we go. So it's probably got an awesome invoice. Awesome invoice. Ah, because this is just the name of it, not the ID. Here's the ID, awesome invoice 2. And the other one was just plain awesome invoice, I think. Okay, so, all right, so we did that. And running out of time already. Okay. So we got test connect, change my, get status. Oh, but you know what? Make sure that we don't leave in our binding pry. Okay, if to save. Now, I will probably add more if statements here to handle any errors from Stripe, but I'm going to move on for now that we have those things done. Okay. Change plan name to include ID. Yay! All right, so we're making the subscription. And now, let me double check our Trello board. So we created that, it's created. I think that's it right now. I'm not adding it to an index and editing and all that jazz yet. Then we're just creating the invoice. So there's some images there that we'll need maybe to duplicate in a new one. So, oh, well, here it is. Here's the scene of it. Because we need to have a link for the vendor to share with their client. So that's actually the next step, is viewing it. Okay, that's right. So we're going to have a way to view the invoice from a vendor point of view, and also view the invoice from the client point of view. So that's going to be different views. So we can't just like use our show view, again. I guess you could. It's getting to be almost noon. So, but that's development, right? You get caught up in one error that takes you, 30 minutes to figure out, or longer. And, that's just part of the game. So let me just check our, if there's any questions. Nope. And I'm going to take a 5-minute break, and I'm going to come back. I don't know how long I'll be on. Todd does have, my husband taking care of our young daughter is coming. Let me just come back to me. Does have a meeting today, so I need to be on baby duty. So but I think I have at least another half hour. So I'm going to take 5 minutes here and come back at noon Eastern time, and we'll at least try to get through showing this link, and then I think that'll be it for now. All right, we'll see. All right, so let's going to put stream starting soon, but I'll be back in about 5 minutes. coming back to me here. Yay! My hair's going crazy. All right, so I didn't actually get to eat a snack. But I'm going to be on for another hour is what we're doing. A little hard to talk. Not really polite either. All right. I'm realizing that we're going to do this page not quite now. We're going to go ahead to the account page. And actually I'm seeing that, you know, I had after invoice creation that we went to that invoices path. I think we will go to the invoice show path. And that's going to be the path that the vendor sees. And then we're going to have a different path that is for the client to pay. And we may want to make that... Well, we're not going to do that right now. But you might want to think about making that more of like a friendly ID. Or not. Let's see. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to triple check you guys didn't have any questions, and that's totally fine if you didn't. Or if you've gone your merry way because I'm going over. Nope. Okay. Just making sure. All right, so we're going to create a new spec. For client pays invoice. Sorry, spec. Okay, so we're gonna need a couple things created. I just have to eat though. So we're going to need a plan. Like a Stripe plan already. We really just need the plan. So I don't think we even need a event with this. We need a plan. So maybe we don't need it before due. Okay, let's make client pays invoice. And we need a plan. So we'll need to make a factory for a plan. And again, I'm going to use like from our test accounts. We've made those plans. They're there. By visiting payment page. So we're going to visit. Now here's where I gotta think about it. So we're going to there's two views of this. Well, there's views of this information, right? There's this payment page. You're signing up to pay for the for the invoice. Why don't we call it? So I'm just thinking of the URL. So if you went to, backslash invoices and then the number. Right now, we may make that nicer, but right now it's invoices backslash the ID backslash. Because you want it is important because your client is seeing this link potentially. I mean, you're sending them the link, so it needs to be something fairly nice. If you want to give your opinion about whether you think it should eventually be a friendly ID for invoices, then that can be a feature I add in the future. How important if you were to go and pay an invoice that the URL be a friendlier thing, or if the vendor just put, hey, click here to pay your invoice, and you clicked and it just all happens. Day-to-day users may not look at the URL. It may not be that important. I always look at a URLs. Where am I? What's happening? But that may be just me, or more tech savvy, I guess, people. So let's just do invoices, the invoice number, and then just call it payment. So that would be. Oh, we don't need a plan. We need an invoice. Silly. Okay, so we're going to visit payment. I believe you put it ahead of it. Invoice path. I always get confused with these custom routes if it's invoice payment path or payment invoice path. This might change. All right, so, and then invoice. All right, and then we'll expect page content invoice dot name. Okay, that'll be at the top there. We're actually on that page going to be pulling in quite a bit from Stripe, but I don't think we'll do that quite yet. Well, maybe let's just get the page up and running and that they actually can pay, and then we'll do more of the front end, what all it's supposed to show. Again, I don't think that's happening all in this hour, and I would need to take a significant break to have lunch, and Todd has a phone call, so but that's what we're going to get to for live coding, hopefully. All right, so content invoice name. Let's fill in so I wasn't going to make. Oh, right, we're going to have to make a subscription. Do we have to make a. Just trying to think if we need to save. I don't think so. We're going to save very little on this app. we can call to Stripe with that account number for the connected account and get a lot of things. So I think we're just going to have a form that doesn't create anything. It's just going to be a payment form that creates the token for Stripe. Creates the token, creates that customer for the connected account, and creates that subscription plan. That subscription. And so that's the flow. That's what's happening. So we're gonna just make a form tag. We're not going to do a form for. So when that happens, it's this might change a little bit, but payment. Oh no, it's just in the thing. So it's the form payment email. Let's just go with that for now. That might change. All right. Let's see. Let's use Faker. Fill in. Okay, so this are parts of the form that are definitely not saved. So let's look at my of course. No, I don't think that has anything exciting on it. Okay, but I'm closing it. Okay. So, and we're going to need JS true for this. So let me come back to me. I mean, to the shared. Oh, sorry. Why is our end not happy? Oh, because there's a missing. So we're gonna, let's just make it email. I'm gonna fill all that in. It's gonna need to be JS true, because that is the, it needs JavaScript to create the customer and everything. There's JavaScript with Stripe, and it'll tokenize the very important card information, so you're not sending that straight over the internet. That's terrible to do. So we're going to use JavaScript to create that token, and there's lots of tutorials on how to do it. So I'm just going to use some stuff that some example code that I have. All right, and we're going to fill in all that. We're going to submit, click button, submit payment. Well, I think that we have got lots of stuff open. All right, pay now. Okay, so what Todd let me know is that we're kind of ignoring that middle part because that wasn't quite right. This is going to be, if I open it in a new tab, then it shows up right side up. So we're doing this part here. Complete payment is what he's written for now. All right, and then we'll expect thank you. And that's all we'll do for now. We can probably do some checks. What we'll need to do is vendor. Oh. So what we'll do, we have to set up this invoice factory. Okay, and it's going to create it's going to use that vendor that we are with the account. So vendor equals invoice.vendor, and then we're going to retrieve you know what? We're going to want to know what this is, but I do want it to be different each time. Okay. So let's even call it, let's be more specific in our test here. Client email as opposed to vendor email. All right, vendor, and then we can use Stripe to retrieve the vendor subscription. The last one? Let's go look at the docs. Okay. Subscriptions, retrieve a subscription. Nope, I want to look at all the list subscriptions. Reading, status, returns. So it's not for the customers, for the Stripe account. So if it's a list, right, it'll be this is what it'll return. Okay, so it'll be in data. And then let's see, customer, but it doesn't list out the customer's email address. It has the plan ID. You could just make sure the plan ID is, check for the plan ID. Just trying to see what we can check when we gather it up. Because I wasn't going to. Now another way to do this, which made me testing easier, is to save this subscription as a have a model that says subscription, and it'll save that ID for the vendor. So the vendor's client subscriptions. Because we do want to show those eventually, but we can also just have a list here. However, you're not really getting a whole lot of information about the customer. So that's not that helpful. Well, I mean, it's helpful, but it's not, ideally you'd have like a list of your subscriptions and when they're coming up, and it would say the name or at least the email address, because that's all we're really collecting. It would show the email address of the customer so that you as the vendor say, oh, okay, this customer email address is paying again on this day and this is how much it is. So this is what I can expect to see. So that's what I'm looking for to see what is Stripe going to give us back, what do I need to save versus what I can just grab with API calls. So it's a list. Now we could go the other way around. We could list the we could find all the customers. Can we find customers with subscriptions? Customers. If we retrieve the customer, there is data on each subscription. I don't even know what if they had more than one. All right, so you can get the customer, and it has in it subscriptions. So if we instead maybe saved each customer, then we could show each customer's subscription. So maybe we need to save, well, we could gather, can we gather a list of all customers? We can. We can gather the list of all customers. You can limit it or not. Let's play around with that. I'm just trying to see, I think we don't need to save anything. So if we get all the customers for that connected account, and then for each customer, it's going to list these, it's going to have in there the ID, sources, subscriptions. So even the list of customers has the subscriptions. Okay, so that's all we really need to grab. Then we need to iterate through the JSON to list each one. So for each, one, we'd have to iterate through. And I would maybe and I'll investigate ways to do that. But I think that's what we need. So we don't need to save anything. What can we test then? So what we're eventually gonna do is get the list of customers. And you get that customer list. And then do I just add a comma? Let's go here. Charges using subscriptions. Yes, I can create a subscription. I see that. We're definitely going to be using this here. But how can you can retrieve. Oh, in fact, I'd have to retrieve the invoice. To show the next one that is paying. Invoice. So that's another subscriptions. Invoices. Retrieve an upcoming. That's probably more likely. So you can list all the subscriptions, but then I don't think inside subscriptions did it say upcoming invoices. That's right, we want upcoming invoices. You can still get, I mean, we can still figure it out, I think, without saving it. Just might take a little bit with all the different calls. But I'd love to play around with that. That sounds exciting to me. So that's, so it's going to be an upcoming invoice. But how do we test to make sure that subscription... All right, so we make sure that they have a customer and that it has a subscription. So back to getting a list. So everything, let's see. So customers equal and then it has just, you know, everything else has said, maybe someone can confirm this, but right, subscriptions, but see, it didn't have... how to... All right, we're on that page. Flow. Yes, how to connect, but I'm gonna page down. Creating charges. That's what we've been looking at. Seeing that it's just gonna go there. Doesn't really say how to, you know, really grab it. So I'm gonna just look it up. Retrieve customers for connected account. Looking. I don't really mean shared. See, maybe this is not necessarily due with well, let's test it out. Let's see. Let's just use something we already have. Let's see if I can get all of the customers. It may be blank information, but let's try this again. Making a plan. Or should we do it here? Let's do the one with... Oh, right, because this doesn't have real. We're stubbing the data in that one. So this has this one has real information. So let's go back to the invoice controller. Let's see. So, you know, if you have a question about what an API gives you or doesn't, it's always good to just go into a prize session and figure it out, test it out. Now, currently there are no customers with that test account as far as I know. So, but even if it gives us an empty something, then we know that that was, you know, we do have the access to it. Oh, it's taking a minute to come on up. There we go. All right, so so if I do this first, I'm expecting to get from the platform in its test that there's a bunch of test customers. I'm sure a whole bunch of that. So great. So Q, so it should not have any of that. And we can test like this. It should not have that if we then go and then add a comma. I'm just guessing here. From what so we're feeding that into the request. We don't just have vendor, so current vendor. Unexpected. Expecting and or the. Okay. Is there an extra space? Nope. See, it doesn't like it. I don't think list didn't seem to take any parameters. Okay, Stripe account should be in ops instead of params. So how do we do that with options? Okay, let's try. I still don't think list takes params, but maybe if you enter nothing. Expecting end of input. Right. So I don't know that we can just get a list of their customers. We may need to save that information. So that's what I'm looking at. Because you can get a customer list for your platform, but it looks like list is not something that's really built for you to just gather. And maybe that's okay. You know? Especially if they create customers themselves that the platform didn't create, I could see that being an issue. So that plan is out. We are going to save a subscription. We're going to create a subscription model, and we're going to save in it the customer. ID, and then the subscription ID. All right, that's the new plan. Let's take out our binding pry. But it was good to play around and make sure. It'd be good if they noted that stuff. But all right, so we're going to expect count to equal 1. And if we can get to just that point, that would be good. Because there's a lot more involved in this part. So we're going to need a subscription. So now thinking about where we're going to visit, since I know now we're going to create the subscription model to collect all that data so we have it and it's easier to go to Stripe and get information about it. Then what we need is maybe it's a subscription new, right? It's a new subscription. So we're going to visit I do think I'm going to make this a nested resource. I think that makes sense. So that would be new subscription invoice path. That looks good. There you go. So that actually solves the other question. The invoice show page, all right, can be where the vendor sees the information about that invoice. Okay, and so when they go to, there's a this guy, right? You see, so it says view invoice right here. It's that, if you can't see it, because it's probably pretty small, it says view invoice. So that actually would go to the subscription's new page so they can see what that looks like. All right, I'm going to make that note so I don't forget. Subscription view invoice goes to new subscription. And we learned this by playing around with the API. And that's fun. Learning about a huge API is good. All right, so now we're going to run this. It was going to fail right at the top here. Oh, no, it's going to fail here. We do not have an invoice factory. So let's set that up. And so it's going to belong to vendor, so we're just going to create a vendor. But it needs to be a real invoice. No, I'm sorry. It needs to have a real ID for plan. I mean, name. There's a name, there's a description, and there's an amount. Oh, you know what just occurred to me? As we were doing our test, it was saying $10, even though we were putting in the amount to be $1,000, I think. We weren't multiplying by 100. And you need to do that we actually haven't dealt with multiplying it or stripping out any unnecessary characters that people might enter. And so I'm just going to make a note for myself, but I'm letting you guys know that that's important to do. Times 100 is what you need to do. And there, I might end up like, fixing the amount number and just putting it as another parameter. I think that's probably the best bet. But for now, just remember to do that times 100. Okay. And I may want to save that amount as the amount going directly to, let's try to see. Oh, no, because you're going to show that to on an edit page. Okay, so you're always going to want to times 100 away from the view of the vendor, because they're going to get confused. You're like, no, I didn't mean, 100 times. Okay, amount. And then we need the ID for plan. So we need all those things. So the vendor happens on its own. I don't think we need to set it to make sure it is that vendor. We'll see. I'll just make the vendor without that Stripe ID and see what happens. The name, awesome plan. Description. I can go back to so we have plans. Here. So the ID, this one is in existence, and we'll just keep it here, okay? Awesome. Invoice 2. Now that I'm thinking, we probably are going to have to I think what you can do, let me look up Factory Girl. What I wanted, oh, that's fun. There's a movie called Factory Girl. Obviously made by Andy Warhol. Okay. That was a different part of my brain just working there. Okay, so let's see. Oh, doesn't have a whole lot of information there. Do we have documentation here? No, that's not what I wanted. Okay. Oh, association. Ah, okay. So I can write it out. Let's see. Gotcha. All right, so instead of this, but I am going to use association and write it out so that it uses the factory that I really want it to use. So I'm going to say association, vendor, factory, vendor with Stripe account. Just to make sure we don't have any issues. There we go, because this vendor with Stripe account has this plan. So let's make sure that that's all put together. All right, so now when we run the test, it will fail here. Okay. Right, exactly. No new subscription path. Again, and this is also to just pay attention and see if a factory gets created. I thought factories used to be generated with models as well. And I'm not sure what happened that it didn't with the invoice one. So I am gonna, that we don't need all of CRUD for this. So I'm definitely not going to scaffold it. So I'm just going to generate the model. And model, and then so we're going to, it's going to belong to the vendor. References, and it's going to have the ID for subscription as a string. It comes from Stripe. We need to know the ID for customer. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. String. We could have a whole other table full of customers, but that would involve the clients having login privileges, and that's not something we're doing yet. So let's just do this. Let's see what this generates. Right, it no longer generates a factory. I thought it used to. Am I crazy? Do I need to test this on an older app? If anybody remembers or has done it recently, let me know if I am remembering it incorrectly. We could scaffold something and then get rid of it. I may do that just or in a minute, or maybe later today I'll do that. But I feel like something's up with that. But I'm gonna keep moving on here. All right, so we generated it. Let's look at our foreign key true string. Okay. Yeah, I think that's all we need to save right now. Of course, we could add more if we need to. So, Rails DB migrate. still, I think it's all caps. Is that what it is? Yes, okay. All right, and now let's do a route. Only new for right now. Oh, I'm sorry. We're gonna nest that. Yes, so we're gonna nest inside of resources. So subscriptions is only the new right now. And then we need a controller. We're gonna do it before I don't remember. Let's see. Before action. Right. Set invoice. Oh, wait. You know what? We don't need all that. It's just going to be def new. So, at invoice. Right? No, it's going to be invoice ID. Pretty sure that's what it's going to be. All right, and add subscription. Oh, we do need create. We do need a create route. At invoice dot subscriptions dot build. Right, and we are going to need to create, obviously. All right, let's just get through that part. Let's get through showing it. New folder. And what did we... Content invoice.name. Okay. All right, so let's see if we can get up through that, because it's not going to be able to fill in anything. Let's see if we can get up through there. And then I gotta go. I gotta eat. I did mean new invoice subscription path. That is what I meant. Yeah, I have, I kind of always forget which goes first. Right. I guess the way to remember it is if you were to go, so the action, especially in CRED, is first, then it's the parent, then it's the child. Because if you were to go to a show page, invoice goes first, then the parent goes first, then the child. So that's the same. That is not a chicken and an egg. The parent comes before the child. Although I guess that's still chicken and the egg. Okay. Let's see if we get up to that point. Oh, undefined method subscriptions for invoice, right? We says belong to vendor, but invoice. Oh, wait. No. We had it belonging to vendor, not to the invoice. Is that should it belong to both? No, not right now. Belongs to... Oh, we made it for the invoice, though. And not the vendor. Because we're paying that invoice. I feel like it should belong to... Well, the vendor could have many subscriptions through invoice. So what did I... Again, So I associated with vendor, but really it should be associated with invoice. And then we wouldn't really need, we would have a has many through association, I think, instead. So I got that wrong. I would love to fix that real quick. Hopefully can get Todd just a little bit. Let's see. He's taking his phone call. I think the baby's asleep. All right. So this is a case I think I'm going to roll back. We're going to... Because this is a harder thing to change. You're like deleting indexes. Okay. Oh, I guess it's pronounced indexes. Not index. All right. All right. So we're gonna invoice. Okay. Now let's. While it's doing that, I'm gonna make sure to change invoice. No, not invoice. That was fine. I'm going to change subscription. It belongs to invoice. make it for local as well. All right, and then now Invoice has many subscriptions. Again, if I had more time, I would test all that with my model. But let's see where we are. Okay. Good. Could not find field email. All right. That's all I got in me for now, guys. I do need to take a break and eat. I will see when I'm going to be on again. I think I'm not going to announce the whole list. Send another email. But if you want to, go ahead and sign in to Twitch. You may have had to sign in. I'm not sure if you had to create a Twitch account or not to view. Sorry about not knowing that. But if you want to follow on Twitch, then Twitch will send you an email to when I'm live again. And I may do that just whenever I can to kind of finish up this series and whether or not anyone's watching. And but then I'll say to my email list, hey, I finished. Go check it out. This is how long it took me. Came across a couple errors. So no formal here I am to the list, but if you want to follow on Twitch and try to catch it when it's live, that's fine. But the list will receive an email saying, okay, all the videos are up. Go check it out. And I may do shorter sessions. Again, we have some social events this weekend, but I really do need to finish this off for our client to pay us. That's the big deal. So I will probably continue to work on it this afternoon. But again, I'm on baby duty, so it's really when she's asleep is when I'll be working on it. So have a great weekend if you're in the U.S. It's a holiday weekend. Celebrating the end of summer. And actually, we like to celebrate the beginning of fall because we like the cooler weather a lot better. So I'm celebrating the beginning of fall. Thank you for watching and for helping out where you could. And I will see you all again soon. All right, take care. Bye-bye.